SSA Midsummer Classic, Bulger Park in Melrose Park, Illinois. We got a winter bracket game, Fat Kids versus Hex. I'm hanging out in the shade until they are actually ready to start, trying to keep the equipment a little cooler as long as I can. So this is going to be Chicago's 16-inch style softball. You're going to see it correctly, no gloves. And 60-foot bases, leadoff can't steal. 38 from the rubber to the point of home plate. Because we're playing no glove, the pitcher gets a drag step, one step left, right, or back. He gets two fakes or hesitation. Third arm action must be to deliver the ball home. Throw or fake to a base is one of your fakes or hesitations. 6-12 on the arc, open count. There's no fence. We swing heavy bats. This is a 16-inch clincher. It's pretty firm coming out of the box. It'll maintain its consistency. And we swing heavy bats. They can weigh up to 38 ounces, 34 inches long, and 2 1/4 on the barrel. So we're going to be underway here a little bit, and should be a good ball game. Fat Kids have been playing very well. They've been progressing on their way. They were A team. They've graduated to the major level, and of course, we've shown you Hex a couple of times. Hex still alive in the North-South if they can find a date to reschedule it, as the rains came there. So it's been a good tournament. I'm proud of all the teams. They're taking care of each other. They're drinking lots of fluids, and we haven't had any issues along those lines. So this next few time slots, we've got winter bracket games. I think we only got a couple of games in the elimination bracket to play today, as this started at 10 a.m. and we're grinding our way through. So Hex is the home team. See them there, they'll be taking the field. We do have a breeze, and you can see where my shadow is. I'm on third base so that the sun won't affect the camera. Mark. So we're going to be underway here. Fat Kids are going to go with Scott Gates, Tony Lepore, Santos Soto, Anthony Misek, Alberto Magana, Brandon Molina, Nick Jones, Angelo Feliciano, Alex Rodriguez, and Luke Lowry. So they're only going to hit 10. Hex will be going with Curtis Ostrom, Mark Holstein, Rob Scahill, Mike Greco, Nick Casano, Richie Battistoni, Mike Oliver, Rory Ocray, Nick Kimmer, Brian Sloan, and Donnie Sullivan. So we're going to be underway here. Scott Gates going to be stepping in. First hitter of the game. So both teams got their uniforms set up. Of course, the Fat Kids will always surprise you, as they always seem to come up with some creative shirts. Hex wearing their gray with the black and neon line outlines. So here we go. Scott Gates in the box. A lot of wind. Trees are howling. Flag is howling, blowing straight out to right field. So here we go. Scott Gates swings up the middle. Ground ball to Casano. Little bobble. And a bobble at first. So leadoff man on. Scott Gates can scoot. And Nick was very aggressive. He did everything right. Just couldn't find the ears on it. And Mike Greco normally bails out their infield, but didn't do it that time. So here's Tony Lepore, longtime Player Inc. flashback guy. Came over to the Fat Kids this year, and Tony drives it toward left center, and that ball is down. Gates is in. He's going to score, and Lepore stand-up double the other way, and the Fat Kids jump up. And the Fat Kids have been having a good year. See if we got it on the replay. We had a little trouble this morning with the replay. And that was a pretty swing there by Tony Lepore. Santos Soto getting ready to swing here. Let's see if this replay will now cut off. Sorry, folks. And Santos Soto, a little flare the other way, and no way for Donnie Sullivan to get there. He had a long run. Donnie's played a lot of center field as well. They got Mike Oliver in center.
Hey, no the win, outfield, no the win!
Looks like they got Curtis Ostrom playing right. Curtis normally a left fielder, but the way the wind's been howling out, a lot of teams have been putting their left fielder or their best outfielder in right field today. Curtis is almost in North Lake. He's so far out there. So here's Santos Soto for the Fat Kids. One in and a runner on second. Just underway here. And he goes the other direction. Nick Kimmer trying to recover, not in time. So that ball jumped up. You saw Nick kind of leave his feet, hit him in the breadbasket. And it brings up Anthony Misa. Also known as Noach. Noach got good pop the other way. I'm a big believer he doesn't go there enough. And this would be a good day for Noach to think right center because that ball's really going to take off. He is a double play candidate if he lays it on the carpet. So here's Mysek. Of course, his brother is Angelo Feliciano, the pitcher for the Fat Kids.
Start.
And there's a little flashback after losing to Whale yesterday. Survived today. They make it to Sunday. Signature's got one more game left. They're grinding through the losers bracket as well. Of course, I think I misspoke and said Flashback won this tournament last year. They did not. Signature won it. Circus was eliminated today. They lost a game we streamed against Meatball City. If you get a chance, go back and watch it. It was a pretty good ball game. And then they lost to Flashback 11-10. They were down big, tried to come back in the 7th, and just fell short. So here's Mysek. And I believe the 45's got Whale in the 5:30 games. So these are winter bracket games. So this time slot and the next time slot, the teams will have to win 2 games tonight. Casano steps and throws. So Hex needed a double play and they got it. As Mysek hit that right at the short center. And it brings up Chulo.
Come on, Chulo, big right.
Alberto Magana. So Hex, they've been playing pretty well. Casanos want to go to Saucedown along with Rory Oakley, a guy in Simone Mike Oliver, and Danny Sullivan. And they have another one on this team. That's way and the Sauce Kids have done a great job of integrating, and they have not been afraid. Well, I hate to tell that in case teams are listening. We're a few minutes behind, but you get a slaughter and all of a sudden you catch up. So, and again, these teams haven't played all day, so unfortunately, the only drawback about Bulger Park is there's no extra space to hit. So you got to let teams get loose. And Magana grounds it right down the line. He drives in the second run of the ball game. So Chulo, Scahill was playing him way off the line, and he just kind of hit a little two-hopper right down the third base line to drive in the second run. And that replay is way behind. So here's Brandon Molina.
Hey, you're right there. You're right there.
So we'll change the scoreboard. And Brandon up the middle. Shulo is chugging, and they're going to hold him. And now the ball gets away, and Brandon Molina will go to second. They're playing right now on the other diamond, and I believe they're playing Impact.
Like that gap!
So here comes Nick Jones, 2-0 Fat Kids. Big 2-out RBI there by Brandon Molina. And Nick crushes it down the line. 2 runs are going to score. Nick Jones, 2-run line drive into left field. Some good hitting going on here with 2 outs, and the Fat Kids scored a lot of runs in the North-South. They actually knocked Signature out of the North-South. And they're certainly on the upswing. Here's Angelo Feliciano. They do get distracted at times. And Angelo pumps a hit into center. So Fat Kids, it looked like Hex was going to maybe get out of this with just a run. And now they've thrown out a slew of 2-out hits.
Hey, line drive, let's go.
Brings up Alex Rodriguez, the second baseman. Nick Lowry, the right fielder, on deck.
Hey, two dead. Come on, guys, we're fine. Let's go, fellas. All right, let's go.
Again, we've had a lot of wind out here in Chicago this summer. It seems like every tournament we got gale force winds. And right now it is coming out of the south and blowing real hard. You see the scoreboard, there's some glare. It might be 1-0. So if somebody's got the game changer in another tab. No, and there's a ball cut by Scahill as he climbs the ladder. Hopefully this replay is going to start working a little better. And the answer is no. Nope.
Hey, they got to play with the winning shit now.
So here we go. Fat Kids, a lot of 2-out stroking there.
Guys, all right, let's go.
Alex Rodriguez, robbed by Rob Scahill. How about that? A little symmetry. You guys know I love it. So, top of the lineup, the man I affectionately call the Straw leading off, Curtis Ostrom. Why the Straw? Because he stirs the drink. He's really the emotional center of this team. Curtis is a very fiery, active player.
They gotta play defense now.
So Fat Kids off to a good start. Don't got to worry about Hex. They score runs. With this wind blowing out, I don't think 4 is going to be enough. Angelo, he actually pitched a perfect game in the Class A No Glove National Championship tournament. And Curtis reaches out, and Gates on his horse makes the catch. So nice pitch by Angelo. He got Curtis to reach just a hair.
Hey, it's okay. That's all right, Kurt.
Curtis has actually hit a few home runs this year, and primarily because he's just hitting line drives into gaps. And he's quick as a hiccup. So here's Mark Holstein and Luke Lowry in right, way deep. Of course, Holstein for years with the 45s, one of the best power hitters in his generation. And there he just hits a hard cut, and Mark is going to stop. at second.
Way to go, way to pick us up. Come on, Rob.
So here's Scahill. And that's something Mark incorporated into his game as he got older. He's playing him so deep at times. And they put him in the 2-hole because he hits for a high average. Scahill goes high and deep. Lowry going back. And Lowry, who was already deep, Holstein will walk into second. And that's a good example. That ball was hit so deep. Mark easily able to tag. But that's an example, too, where if Mark would have tried to stretch that hit into a double, he'd have been standing on third in any kind of an infield hit or bobble. And Hex could have been on the score. But Mark, an older guy, so. Here's Mike Greco, one of the really good young upcoming first baseman in the game. Hex is a team that will score runs in bunches. And Greco, little flip the other way, and it's down. Holstein will stop at third.
Hey, way to be, Greg.
Runners on the corner, so 2-out hit now for Hex. And it brings up Nick Casanos. Now, if you watched any of the tape from the north-south, Nick hit a big home run, and the Hex win over the 45s to right center. He's got a huge gap. The outfielders are so deep and spread out. The gaps are open for business. So here's Casanos. Greco will be running on the swing, any kind of a stretch single, and he'll have an opportunity to maybe score. I wouldn't call Greco fast, but I wouldn't call him slow either. So here's Casanos trying to break the seal. And he does try to go to right center, but on the spot, Brandon Molina. And Brandon, I talk about all the time. He's silky smooth out there. And he got a great read on that ball. And what we've been seeing today with this wind is anything hit to left field is getting knocked down. Left center. Anything hit toward the alley or straight away in right center or straight away right field is carrying. And we've seen a lot of center fielders chasing after the fade ball where a guy drags his hands through the zone a little late and leads with his hands instead of the barrel, and they get that spin. And that ball will tend to be like a golf swing. It'll slice. And as a result of that, if the left fielder isn't helping out, we've seen a few balls drop where center fielder looked like he was going to make the play, and the ball just kept getting pushed away from him. So here's Luke Lowry. And Fat Kids have done a great job. I comment on this all the time about bringing in younger guys that maybe you haven't seen. And Luke is a very young player, and the guy on deck, Scott Gates, the leadoff man, another one of those kids, Alex Rodriguez, and there's Rory Oakrey, and Mike Greco is frustrated. Rory threw a strike, and he dropped it, and he did not dig a ball out in the first, and he was aggravated. But he's got great hands. You can see he's just taking a breath and walking around. So leadoff man on here for Scott Gates. And Gates whistles it between me and the first base coach. A little more dangerous being here on the third base side versus that first base line. You don't have as many guys, left-handed hitters turning and burning. Gates does pull the ball quite a bit. Now he's going the other way toward the alley. Curtis Ostrom got there, and That's the other problem. When you throw it in from the outfield today, that wind's also going to make it harder on the outfielders to throw the ball in. And that's an example. Rory Oakley stayed at second. Rory's got to go out there and line it up so Curtis can maybe throw the ball a little bit lower. Here's Lepore. Line drive the other way his last time up. And now he tried to pull going back as the center fielder. Mike Oliver makes it double tag. Lowry's going to give it a go. High throw. So the Fat Kids, very aggressive. They pick up the 5th run. And that's an example where that ball was getting pushed around. Mikey Oliver was backpedaling. Tried to throw it in quick off his back foot. And the cutoff man turned and threw it off the backstop. So here's Santos Soto. 5-0, top of the second. And I've been very impressed that we haven't seen more walks today. And Soto, Curtis gets on it. And he fires it in. So the Fat Kids right now free swinging a little bit. Two outs. He brings up Anthony Mysek. So it's really blowing. If the camera's moving around, we apologize. And Noach a little flip the other way. And that's really not what you want to see, a big, strong kid like this do on a day like today with the wind blowing out. I think what you'd like to see him is be a little more patient and have a little better idea of what type of pitch he's looking for.
Hey, 2 up, hey, 2 up. Take a pitch.
Pitch a little inside here. And there's a sky-high pop-up. Greco, wind blowing it around, but he stayed with it. So we head to the bottom of the second. And if you're Hex, you want to put something on the board here. I want this Fat Kid team to just start pre-swing. So I'm going to hydrate a little bit and grab some water. I'll be right back, folks. Richie Battistoni leading off, Mikey Oliver and Rory Oakley.
Come on, all right. Good hitter. He's contagious. Let's go. All right.
And Richie, base hit to lead off. Nets up the alley. Gates gets to it. And Richie will be content with staying at first. Brings up Rory Oakley.
Come on, Mike. Come on, Mikey. Come on, Mike.
Of course, Mikey Oliver, one of the sauce guys we mentioned. And Mikey punches it to the gap. That's trouble. That's going to get past Lowry. Mike Oliver going to cruise in. Mike Oliver puts him on the board with a 2-run shot into the alley in right center. So Hex gets a little bit of a jolt they were looking for. Good piece of hitting. Hit it well. Got up in the wind a little bit. There was no shot at either outfield. And on a regular day, that might have been a double, maybe a triple, but on a day like today, it got a few extra feet in the air before it hit the carpet and just rolled. So here's Rory Oakley.
Let's go, Rory.
So Hex jumps right in, Nick Kimmer on deck. And Rory goes the other way. Coming in is Lowry, and he made the catch. So that ball was getting knocked down a little bit. Nice play by Lowry. He had to go down on a knee, but he made the catch. Here comes Nick Kimmer. One out here. That's a big home run. And that 45 game Hex was kind of a little bit in the water. Casanos hit a 3-run homer. And after that, they just went ballistic. Home plate jumping around here a little bit on Angelo. Grabs a strike there. So full count to Kimmer. And Kimmer launches a line drive over the top of Lepore. And Hex looks like they're fully engaged now. It brings up Donnie Sullivan with the top looming. So Nick Jones is going to come out and slow the game down a little bit.
Go Sloan.
Oh, excuse me, that's Brian Sloan. Skip the batter.
Come on, Brian. Come on, Brian. Hey, here we go, 3-2.
Now Brian Sloan can go the other way. And with how deep the outfield is playing, he's got nothing but space that way. And there, he was trying to force that. That pitch was up and in. He tried to inside out it, but it was up near the lettering. He couldn't really barrel up on anything. So a little anxious there. Here's Donnie Sullivan. And Donnie, a little ground ball. Alex Rodriguez makes the play. But Hex on the board as we head to the top of the third. In this weird time of the day, between 4 and here in Chicago, we generally tend to get big Chulo, Alberto Magana, Jones here. If you're a fat kid, you can't work. You just got to keep putting something. Oh, right to Scahill, strong gun, out number 1. So you see in the first inning, there were, I think, 2 strikes. And Scahill was way off the line. That time he was a little closer. Easy play. And here's Molina. got one of those big 2-out hits and that big 4-run first. But realistically, it feels like it's blowing more often than not straight out to right. And when it does shift, it blows like toward the right field corner. But not a lot of clouds up there. Tough sky for the outfielders. And we are in bright sunshine. And you know it's hot when, normally when I'm plugged into a battery, and then he hits his second hit of the ball game. Usually when I'm plugged into my battery, the phones never dip below 100, but it's so hot out here that my main phone is at 80%. My secondary phone is at 92, so trying to convince Will Russ to maybe do the 5:30 game. Or no, he was working today, so I think he may have got to the flashback game late. He works till 3. And I don't know, maybe he's watching the stream. I'd like to show you guys that 5:30 game between the 45s and Whale. And Nick tries to go down that line. That's going to drift foul. And I'll take a look at the schedule, and maybe we'll do a 6:45 game or an 8 o'clock game going out the door. So, Flashback and Los Borrachos both made it to Sunday. They were in the part of the bracket where they played one less game in the losers bracket. In the bottom half of the bracket, teams in the losers bracket had to play one extra game. And Nick Jones gets another hit. And out of ball gets away, and Donnie Sullivan is grabbing a leg out there. And they're going to go check on him. I don't know what happened there. He was chasing the ball. And we'll see what the Hex guys does. He went down in the heat. Yo, Teddy. Go out and check on him and see if he needs something. And I don't know, he went down in a heap. And we're gonna
turn around.
Go! To the center.
So my guy Teddy is gonna walk out there. And you hate to see that. He looked okay. It sounded like Donnie Sullivan said when he went to move, his ankle or his knee might have gave out or been twisted. They got him up on his feet, and you got a couple of big guys over there trying to help him. Joe Serpico now from Melrose is going to drive out with the cart. And you hate to see that. Donnie's been playing, or excuse me, Mikey's been playing real well, hit that 2-run homer. So we'll see what happens with him. And we'll see, hopefully it's nothing too serious, but He was not putting any, he's still not putting any weight. They finally got him seated in the cart out there. So Joe Serpico will circle back around and bring him to the main tent area. And we'll try to catch Teddy on his way back and get an update. What happened there, Rob?
Knee.
Knee?
Yeah, he says it's patella.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So it can't move it, can't bend it.
Okay. So he thinks it's a patella injury because he can't move or bend his leg.
I mean, we should keep him.
So I think they're gonna.
Like he should go 9.
Yeah.
That's gonna be fucking. We get ice for him.
Does he need to go to the hospital, Pat? Does he need to go to a hospital? Hold on, Joe. We may have to call a ambulance. So you can see he's in a, can't bend his knee. Richie, does he need an ambulance?
We'll get you ice.
No? Are you sure? Oh, okay.
But it might numb it, and at least maybe.
You want to shoot? Pat, we may have to. Okay, but does he want us to call an ambulance so the EMTs can look at him? Sure. Okay, well, for those of you that thought that 16-inch softball, these guys aren't tough. He doesn't want to go to the hospital. So he.
Nick, last time, Nick.
I don't know. He seems pretty calm. Well, maybe that's why he doesn't want to go to the hospital. Don't sue me, Gottlieb. So here's.
Come on!
Okay. Okay. So Angelo throws a hit out. We're back to playing. Mikey Oliver, a tough kid, says he doesn't want us to call him an EMT. So
Hey, roll it up!
Donnie Sullivan goes to center.
Don't be surprised over here.
Kyle, who'd you put in the outfield for? Al Rice?
Right, or back to left.
Okay, so Al Rice went to right field. And they shifted Curtis Ostrom back to left.
1-0.
So here's Alex Rodriguez. Runners on the corner, and he punches it. Here comes Donnie Sullivan. Throw to the plate's going to be way wide. Another run scores.
Play, Daddy.
Donnie Sullivan came flying in. He was on a dead run, caught it in his stomach, trying to run through it. And a run scores, so it's 7-2. And here comes Luke Lowry, so Hex is going to have to hit their way out of this. We'll see. Al Rice was actually not in the lineup, so I assume that. And that ball is fair. It dropped right on the line. Now it's bouncing off the fence, and they're going to hold Angelo. He would have probably scored, but
I don't hear nothing to this day. You already dropped it.
so 2 outs now, second and third. Scott Gates, the leadoff man, up. So far, the Fat Kids have been putting a lot of pressure on Hex's defense. See if they can get another 2-out hit here. Here's Scott Gates.
Good night, Scott. Good night, Scott. You're good. You're good. Hey! Hey, he's got to go home on his next pitch.
And Brian Sloan tried to pick off there. was wide left on the throw. Now he's already got 2 fakes on there. So you might have heard Angelo tell his base runners he's got to come home.
More, up and up. More. Nobody, you got to go home.
And that's a good idea there by Brian, because the runner was going to get unfettered lead, and Gates delivers and another run. And Donnie just lobbed it to the pitcher, but he had no play. So the winner of this game should be getting the winner of the Meatball Impact game. And it looks like they might be in the 6th inning down there. It's 4-2 Meatball. Now that diamond does have a strong cross breeze, blowing from the right field line to or from what would be our third base line straight out to what is their left field line. So here's Lepore. I think I'm a run behind. I believe it's 9. Gates is hit. So here's Tony Lepore now. And he hits a rocket. Nice play by Greco to knock it down and keep it there. And Hex finds themselves heading to the bottom of the 3rd in a big hole and a little damper on the proceedings. And I don't know if it's a good sign or a bad sign, but and now Mikey Oliver's grabbing his bag. Again, he didn't want to go to the hospital. I don't know if he's got somebody picking him up. I can't imagine he'd be able to drive there. But it looks like he's slowly but surely Richie, is he going to leave? Does he need? Because he's got his stuff. If he needs a ride to his car or something.
He's had this injury on the other leg. Let him finish the half inning.
Did you tell him, Rob? Okay.
Hey, now that I'm on the mound, we know we got to hit. I'm going to give up some runs. Let's go. Come on, Curtis. Give it up, Eddie, Joe.
Say it's not so. The best looking guy in softball. And here's the top of the lineup. So if you're Hex, this is where you want to be. Top of your lineup here. And Curtis reaching, little flare, but Lowry gets there for out number 1, and it brings up Holstein. So they're going to wait till the end of this half inning, and then they're going to give Mike Oliver a lift to his car.
Mark, so are you.
And here's Holstein. And my only advice to the fat kids was don't take your foot off the gas and let Hex get their legs underneath them. Because Hex got a lot of hard-nosed guys. Holstein hit it hard down the line. Nice catch by the fan down there. He just reached up and grabbed it like it was low-hanging fruit. Last time I see a play like that, it was Joey Carbs.
Go, Marky! Pick us up! It wasn't a fruit, it was a burger.
Says it wasn't fruit, it was a burger. Is that how you keep that svelte figure? There's Joe, one of the funniest guys in 16-inch softball. Not yet, at the end of the inning. So Hex a little aggravated. They're trying to get something going here, and a little miscommunication in terms of when we're going to start so Mikey can get to his car. But what are you trying to do? Goldstein lashes one, and nice catch by Mysek. Looked like Alex Rodriguez would have been there if it got past Noach. Here comes Skater.
Let's go. Hey, let's go, Rod. Come on,
Again,
two here, kid.
Loser of this game is not out of the tournament because it is double elimination. And Skater, his second hit of the ball game.
Rich. Elbow.
It's going to bring up Mike Greco.
Come on, chip away. Let's go.
Raider coming over and giving the bat back. So here's Greco. And there's a little flare.
Hey, gotta get a zero here. Hey, zero, Joe. Keep us here, Joe. Wait out. Yeah, let's keep playing defense, guys. Let's play.
Oh. So they're going to get Mikey Oliver into the car. Now he turns down a ride to his car. So.
Hey, zero we have. Let's go.
So Mikey Oliver telling Rob, come back. Go get it. His girlfriend's telling me, give me your bag, but he's kind of using his bat as a crutch. So we're going to head to the top of the fourth here. We lost a little bit here in the shuffle. Is the fact that the Fat Kids are playing a pretty good ball game. And there's a little ground ball to Greco. And I hope my phone doesn't overheat here. I'm going to try to stand so I can shield it from the sun. And of course, as things would be when I need a little bit of good hard wind, I'm not getting it. So here's my sack. Top of the fourth, 9-2. And Noach right up the elevator shaft.
Hey, do this. Let's go get this one. Let's go ahead. Get this one. Let's go ahead.
So I'm going to unplug my battery from my main phone. And that may drain it, but when you charge these things and they're on the battery, they tend to get a little hotter than you'd like them. And that pitch a little inside. So here's Chulo. 9-2. And a little bit of the energy sucked out of this game with the injury to Mike Oliver. And they have changed pitchers. Joe Carb's in the game now, pitching. And walks him, so 2-out base runner for Brandon Molina.
Come on, big.
Again, Brian Sloan just didn't have it today. So 2 strikes on Molina now. 2 outs. And Brandon goes hard to right field. Al Rice is there. So they do get a goose egg. We'll head get to the halfway point.
Here we go, Richie. Come on, Richie.
9-2, Fat Kids.
Hey, let's get it to curve here. Go ahead. Come on, boys. Cut it in half. Let's go. Let's go. Come on, fellas. Stay up. Let's go. Stay up. Long game. Long game. Ratchet down. Long game here. Hey, this is the inning, guys. We got to put some runs up.
So Nick Casano going to be leading off here. And if you're Hex, you got to worry a little bit because, you know, you're basically 3 runs away from that mercy rule. So you want to cut this 7 down a little bit and give yourself some breathing room.
Let's go now, Nick. Get us started. Hey, work the curve. Just a hit. Get us going. Hey, let's go, Nick.
So here's Casano. Still kind of expect Hex to make some kind of run. Casano leads off with a base hit.
Hey, we get the curve. Let's go.
Sometimes you get an injury like that, it can work one of 2 ways. Your team can tank or they can really come out. Like they said, you got those guys in the state. And that pitch is outside.
Come on, let's go. Come on, Rich. What do you say, 1-3?
And there's a swing and a fair ball.
Come on, come on.
So that ball is down. Here comes Casano.
Good job, Richie.
And Richie Battistoni, a little double down the line.
Let's go, good.
And we get a little excitement out of the Hex side.
Oh, no. Do you, Al? Do you? Come on, 3-4.
And here comes Al Rice.
Go, Al.
And that pitch catches the corner. Well, Tim, I don't know exactly what you're getting at. And I take a little offense to that. There's a swing and a base hit. 2 runs are going to score. That's up the alley. Al Rice, a long, hard double. And just like that,
Let's go. Good ball, Al. Good ball, Al.
it's 9-4. Still nobody out here.
Way to fucking pick us up, boys. Way to fucking pick us up. Elbow, good ball. Come on, Rory. Go out,
So 9-4 here, bottom of the 4th.
Come on, Rory. Come on, Rory.
And here's Rory Oakery.
Rip and rip, boy. Don't worry about where it goes. Good job, Rory.
Angelo grabs a strike. And Rory punches it, and that's going to be caught by Lowry. That ball just kind of hung up in the air there. And Luke was basically in center field when he caught it.
Come on, Kimmer.
So that's the first out of the inning.
Come on, Kimmer, I need you.
And it brings up Nick Kimmer.
Good. You were good. We're due for a hit.
And there's a ground ball the other way. Great play by Rodriguez, but he can't hold on.
You're good. Boy, Kimmer.
And another run scores. 9-5.
Hey, there's only one
I
out.
think that's a Dolly Parton song, if I'm not mistaken. So here's Brian Sloan. Again, they put Al Rice into Mikey Oliver's slot.
Don't ask. Help yourself, guys. Stay high.
So even though they replaced the pitcher, well, I would assume he re-entered to hit for cards. And I tell you, he's got so much room.
probably more water because I would have stopped him with the first time.
And there he hits a little flare, and it's going to drop. Kimmer stumbled. Here comes the throw.
Yeah!
And he's safe underneath.
Yeah!
Kimmer with a great slide got the hand in. We had a good view of it right on the stream. 9-5. Now they got second and third one out. Told you they're so deep and right. It's like stealing. Here's Donnie Sullivan with the top of the lineup, chomping at the bit here to get in on this.
Come on, Donnie.
And Donnie Sullivan, no, Gates can't make the catch.
Way to go! Hit it hard! Things happen! Hit it hard! Things happen!
So another run scores. Good base running by Brian Sloan. He went back to tag. And now all of a sudden Hex being the aggressor. Only one out here. First and second, Curtis Osborne do like the rent. I'd like to see Curtis be a little more patient. He's been kind of lunging at the ball his first two at-bats. Not because I'm for either team. But. And there he inside outs it. Lowry does make the catch. And Curtis is frustrated.
To pull the fucking ball.
Again.
Be afraid to pull the fucking ball. God damn it.
So Curtis jumped at the first pitch he saw there. And now it's up to Holstein.
It's up right here, Mark.
Be aggressive, Donnie.
No one's better. Slow two. Going around.
I got you. He's back. Be aggressive with Donnie.
So Mark Holstein, he's been up in situations like this quite a bit in his career. And the thing about Mark, he won't necessarily try to go big.
Beat him home.
He understands the situation. And he knows if he hits a stretch single, Donnie Sullivan's going to score.
Go, Monkey. Pick me up, man.
And that's what he does. Took advantage. That's going to score Sullivan. And they tried to throw behind 9-8. Hex a 6 spot. In the fourth, they closed to within 1. And I told you, Mark Holstein understands. He gets the assignment. He knew he didn't have to go big. They're playing him in the next county.
Give us room here, Rob.
And he just took his time and threw it down the line.
Keep running with it. Let's go.
Now they're going to run for Holstein with their young outfielder, Brandon Bartleman. Brandon can scoot. And Rob Scale throws one in the gap, and this is going to be a tie ball game.
Watch me. He's not as fast as Donnie.
And I think Angelo might be. And there's a little roller up the middle. Throw to first, not in time.
Yes.
Not in time. Scale, a lefty, runs pretty good. Tony Lepore was deep, almost by the cut of the grass. Bartleman gets to second, and now it's up to Greco. Well, I told you all in the first inning, 4 wasn't going to be enough.
Hey, 2 outs.
Well, I was hoping to get Will Russ out here, but I wasn't able to communicate with him. But I had to unplug my phone because it wasn't charging in the heat. And there's a big hit. We're all tied. Cahill makes it to third. Greco comes through. 7-run inning, and we're all tied.
Let's go!
And now there's 2 outs for Casanos. A base hit here could put Hex up for the first time all day.
Keep us rolling here, kid. Keep us rolling here.
And Raider going to come out and talk to Angelo. I'm not quite sure who the backup pitcher is for the Fat Kids.
Let's go! Come on, Casano!
Very impressive inning here by Hex.
Let's go! Take this for us. Come on, threes. Right.
7th spot.
Greco, 2. Listen to
Here in the bottom of the 4th.
Come on, make this fucking inning right now.
Casano's on the ground. Alex Rodriguez. But in the inning, 7 big runs for Hex. They tie the ball game as we head into the first brand new game. Tell you folks, 16-inch softball is a lot like the weather here in Chicago. If you don't like what's going on, just wait 10 minutes. And that was good hitting. Even with this crazy wind, Hex was not trying to go big. They just stayed within themselves and threw out a lot of nice line drives. If you follow us, you know I'm a big believer the best ball in 16-inch softball is a 12 to 15-foot high line drive over the infield.
I know I'm better here, kid. Keep us right here.
So brand new ball game here in Melrose Park. Yeah, it's a little hot. But the good news is there's been a breeze. Although they had the building open for a little while there, they got a big party in there, so they closed it. And you don't really realize it because of the breeze, but when I went in there and got in the air conditioning, you realize just how warm it is. But like I said, everybody's been real good about staying hydrated, and we haven't had any issues. But if you're playing and you're at home and you're watching this game, you're going to be out here tomorrow, it's going to be a tad warmer. And Nick Jones to center, and Donnie Sullivan made the catch. So Big Mo has changed sides in this game. Well, I got to tell you, Whale, very, very impressive last night. And they got a fun group over there. Jackson Perry, Chris Rieger. Just a really a good group. And I tell you, they're playing good ball right now. That game they played against March, the late game yesterday. Well, it wasn't late. It was 8:15, but it's been a while since I saw a team barrel up as much as they did. And it wasn't wind or anything. They were just throwing line drives out there. Reminded me of the money line win against Signature on Thursday. There's a little bouncer up the middle, Casano's, little lob. And that's the other thing, I haven't mentioned it, but see how the shadows are. You got to be real careful depending on where you feel the ball, throwing it to first, because the first baseman right now is looking with the sun right over your shoulder. So 2 out, and brings up Alex Rodriguez. The Fat Kids were cruising along, and it looks like that big inning there is at least temporarily taking a little starch out of the sails. Of course, the 45s came out. They won their 2 games the other night. called that a strike. Alex thought he had a walk. So we got a lot of stuff happening in this game. Little roller the other way, Nick Kimmer. And I tell you, they are not helping out Mike Greco at all over there. A couple of crazy throws. One he dropped, he probably would tell you he should have had. But they are throwing some nasty stuff over there at him. No, this is a winner's bracket game. So here's Luke Lowry with Scott Gates on deck. See if that kid's still got any 2-out magic left in him. And Luke does like to turn and burn on occasion. I don't know if he'd want to challenge. Curtis Ostrom just giving him 1.5 miles down that left field line. And Luke tried to pump it down there a little quick. That ball ended up rolling out of play past the screen. They played a fence line down. I think what Richie's trying to do, he's trying to tell V, make sure Joe puts a little more air under that. Well, I believe High Y is supposed to play money line next. They're going to be on the other diamond, little roller. Kimmer a bobble, and all of a sudden the fat kids extend the inning.
That's all right. That's all right. Hey, no matter, Jeff. Let's go.
And now you got your top coming up with the chance to maybe put a run. Again, this started innocently enough. Ground ball error and then a ground ball error.
Here we go. Two seconds. Hey, let's go, Joey. Go, Joey. I like it, Joey.
So Carb's trying to do the best he can. Gates, Scahill, and they get out of a mini jam and head to the bottom of the fifth. And of course, Rob, I tell this story all the time, was a pitcher. He's got a lot of gas. Somebody told me he threw in the 90s. And he poured that over. And he did Mike Greco a solid there as he threw it nice up and high. So it's going to be Richie Battistoni, Alex Rice, and Rory Oakley.
Hey, Rory, let's go. Let's go, good hitter. Hey, let's go, 1-3. Stay hot.
And they got a few guys here, so they got a guy up to maybe run for Richie if he gets on.
Now,
I think they told number 7 if he gets on, he'll run it. And there's a little poke the other way, long run, and Lowry can't get there. Battistoni gonna try it. Right.
Yeah! Way to go!
So Richie. Now I got to tell you, with nobody out, I might have let Richie stay there. Because Richie is such a valuable offensive piece, and we're only in the 5th inning. So leadoff double. And now we got another guy shaking up. And I don't know, they might have bumped into each other. Lowry again covering a lot of ground.
you knew?
And looks like he's okay. That's Brandon Molina, my bad. And Brandon trying to get himself put back together. Again, Lowry was flying over there, and I think Molina was going to make a play on the ball. And then all of a sudden, he either had to duck or get out of the way. He's moving around. He looks like he's okay.
No outs.
So nobody out, man on second for Al Rice. Heck's in a good spot here to maybe take their first lead of the ball game.
Header, Al. You're a header, Al. Nobody there. Out. First one. Oh, good hitter.
Right center has been kind of the Bermuda Triangle. Al goes the other way, Lowry's there. He'll just throw it into second, runner tags. Here's Rory Oakley. Figure one more run is going to be enough, but you don't want to leave anything on the table. I'd like to see Rory try to get a hit the other way. Now they're going to shift Tony Laporte to the right side. And I got to tell you, Rory almost looked like he wanted to maybe pull that ball. So home plate jumping around, Nick Kimmer on deck. And there's a little flare to center, and Brandon just going to flip it in. Hex grabs their first lead of the day. They were down 7-2, and they've come all the way back. 9 straight runs to take a 1-run lead here in the bottom of the 5th. And it brings up Nick Kimmer.
Back, come here.
Again, I think Raider
good job, guys. Good job.
and Noach. You gotta just circle the wagons and gotta tell you guys, hey, we already put up 9. Let's get back to doing what we do. Well, rest assured, if we don't do the game, I'm sure little Dave will be down there doing it. And there's a base hit. So here's Joey Carbs.
Yeah, I mean, you can get it to second, but it's not going to be good. Come on, Joey Carbs!
So now with Kimmer, who runs pretty well. Carbs not so much. If you're an infielder, you want to make sure that you understand who the base runners are. And if you're Angelo, you want to try to end the inning right here. And Joey just up there taking pitches. And Carbs, a little push to Rodriguez, got a little soft bounce there. But at the end of the 5th inning, Hex has come all the way back to take the lead. Head to the 6th. 10-9. It's a great effort here by the Hex Ball Club. You lose your center fielder, Mike Oliver, who already had a 2-run homer in the game. They knocked out your starting pitcher. You're down 7 runs, and you've come all the way back to retake the lead.
Come on, let's go right here.
And there's a swing in Lepore, but Alex Rice was deep, and he made the play. Wonder, in that circus game Kevin Duff got this morning with Meatball. And that Meatball Impact game is over. And it looks like the Whale 45 game has already started.
Here we go.
So here's Santos. Soto with one out now. And the Fat Kids got to 9 pretty quick, and now they've just slowed down here. This is being played in Bulger Park, Veterans Park District in Melrose Park, Illinois. In Santos, that's going to be way foul. And normally I would show you that, but the sun is to my back and it does screw with the camera. And my cell phone is leaking battery power like the Titanic. So hopefully we're going to be able to get through this game. Try to cool it down. Might have to put it in a plastic bag and shove it in the cooler. Just got to make sure the bag isn't leaking. So here's Soto's. And he drills a base hit. And you see Kimmer kind of went down on his knees there. He kind of leaned toward third. Thought Soto was going to go the other way, and he ended up pulling it a little bit more. And here's Anthony Mysek. It's big enough, strong enough to hit a gap here, and he could tie the game here. One out, Soto's.
Come on, go get it.
And there's a bullet right to Oakrey. He was going to throw to second for a second, like he didn't realize it was a line drive, but he recovers and he makes the play.
Let's go. Insurance runs here, Phil. Some insurance runs here. Let's go, boys. Let's go, boys.
So for those of you asking about high Y, I'm going to have to shut this phone off for a little bit. So we may try to do the back end of that game due to this heat. And again, we only had 3 teams from Washington Park, and unfortunately 2 of them withdrew. So we got a lot less opportunity to show you those teams. Normally we make a point of it.
Go, Donnie. Come on, Don. Start to you, 3-0. Start to you.
So Donnie Sullivan, then the top of the lineup, Curtis Ostrom and Mark Holstein. So right now, here in the bottom of the 6th, Heck's looking for a little. And Chulo did not go over. I think the wind might have knocked that down. When it left his hand, it looked like he was going to go over that short fence. I think it hit just below the yellow on the SSA sign. Way back in the day, at one of the ballparks in New York, turn of the century, they used to have a bullseye. If you hit it, you won a free suit. So here's Curtis. Curtis pops it up. Gates started back, and now it drops. Yeah! Safe at second.
Hey, way to be heads up. Way to run.
Gates leaned back.
Use your head.
And that crossbreeze just knocked that thing down. Looked like it rolled off the end of a table.
It has to get through. You know he line. He gets in the line.
And here's Mark Holstein. You can't cheat him, and he's been hitting line drives over the infield.
Go out, start runner!
Now, great speed aboard here. Even if Mark hits a long fly out, it could be 2 bases for the runners, and he does go hard. And Sullivan tags.
Right here on the back. On the back. Get on the back. Get on the back. Keep going.
And you can see Donnie was being aggressive. So Holstein made sure he moved both base runners for Scahill. Scale's been swinging a heavy bat. With 1 out, I was just kind of wondering maybe they might take a chance.
Hey, I got you.
And walk Scahill. He hits a rocket. Noach can't make that catch. And Sullivan, with an awkward but effective slide, gets in. So that would have been a big out if Noach could have held on. Scale absolutely destroyed that. Does get a runner now to second base. And it brings up Mike Greco.
Come on, Greco.
No, they just started.
Hey, Kurt, too.
You can't see the dot. I think it might be the bottom of the first, 0-0.
Make him earn it, Crack. Make him earn it, Crack.
There's a strike.
Come on, boys, let's go. Go.
11-9 now is.
Yeah, I got fastball.
Hex was down 7-2. And Greco, a sweeping swing, just rolled it up into the hole. And now they're going to get Greco out at second. He got caught in no man's land, but he did drive in run number 12. And we head to a do or die 7th for the Fat Kids.
Hey, Crack, ball, man. Hey, 0, let's go. 3 outs before they get up.
So the Fat Kids need 3 to keep the game going, 4 to take a lead. Anything less, and Hex will advance to the later game here in the winner's bracket, which I want to say is going to be 5:45. And I'm not sure who won that Impact Meatball game, but I believe that's who they run into.
Here's our defense, right? Here's our defense.
And it's going to be Jewel.
Go, Joey.
Back in this ball game, and they just sat on the number. And there's the dreaded leadoff walk. Brings up Brandon Molina. We'll have to keep an eye on how he runs out of the box after getting a little shaken up. Nick Jones on deck. Excuse me. Got a little dust flying around. Carbs may have gotten away with a quick pitch there. And if you're Carbs, you want to throw strikes. You want guys to hit their way on. And Brandon did hit his way on. Chulo will get to third. Runners on the corner, nobody out. Tie in the box with Nick Jones. So we'll see if that kid's got a little miracle in him. Again, a big advantage for Hex is that they got the hammer in this game.
Hey, don't worry about him at third. Let's go. Go. Pull up the pair.
And they'll have, if it gets to that, they'll have Battistoni,
Out here, fellas, out.
Al Rice, and Rory Oakley. In the bottom of the seventh, should the Fat Kids tie or take the lead here. And it looks like we have a score in the other game, 1-0. Can't see the dot, so I don't know who the home team is now. And Nick Jones walks, so now the bases are loaded with nobody out. And it brings up Angelo Feliciano. Now Angelo likes to cut and push.
Confidence here.
Outfield has to play him a little deeper. Al Rice is giving him a ton of right field. A lot of times what you'll see here is a hitter will take the pitch to see if the outfielder's making it. Showing cards, home plate jumping around. Grabs a strike. Worst case scenario, if you're a Fat Kids, you want him to get one in and get the 2 over. And there he just tried to pooch it. That pitch was going to be well short of the plate. So it might be a little case of the nerves going on. There's the ball. I want to say it's 2-2, and it is. And Angelo up the middle. Casano steps, throws. Big double play. They do get a run to make it 12-10. The tie is still in the box. But a huge double play. Joey Carbs pulled his hand back. And the ball bounced directly to Casano's. Left side playing Alex Rodriguez tight. And he tries to go the other way, and Hex, after trailing 7-2, losing their center fielder, comes all the way back and wins the ball game 12-10. Again, the Fat Kids sat on that 9 a long time, and Hex will advance. We hope you enjoyed the coverage, folks. I got to get this phone somewhere cool.